Sabbath. All right. Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the Most High. Had some technical difficulties, but we're back again to observe the Most High Holy Day here at the House of David. My name is Aynwah. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to everybody out there. To Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who you ignorantly call God and who you call Jesus, right? So we acknowledge the Most High and the Son. So we give them praises, and as we gather together and observe on their high holy day. Also, double honors to the elders of the House of David. Okay, elders taught us his truth, so we appreciate that, right? Their diligence, right? We acknowledge them as well. Also, to the other schools, Shabbat Shalom, Muhabiat Saporium, to other schools that will be on the highways and hedges today, other camps, other teachers, right? We say Shalom. Also to the Akim wa Akiwaf who are gathered here today, Shalom in the House of David. Give yourselves a round of applause, right? Being in the Most High's house on the Sabbath as we are commanded. Today, my topic is going to be concerning John, the prayer that Yahushua did in the garden for himself, for his people, right? And we know that the scriptures are twofold, right? So he prayed in Gethsemane for himself as he had to give up himself because he knew what his sacrifice was going to be, right? And he also prayed for the 12, and he also prayed for us. The scriptures are twofold. We know that, right? But we'll stay onefold. The title of my class is "They Will Try to Take BALM for Her," as well as John, the 17th chapter. Okay, and we're seeing it come full circle now as we're just watching the prophecies fly by, right? You have Putin over there. He just tested his the first ICBM nuclear or ICBM without the nuclear payloads on it, right? That were absolutely accurate, hitting their targets. So that's the first, and that's part of the prophecies that are coming to pass, right? And it's not going to stop. We know that. But I wanted to go into the prayer that Yahushua has to the Father for his people, especially in these last days. It's critical. All right, so reader, if you would please get John the 17th chapter. The name of my class is "They Will Try to Take BALM for Her." They will try to take BALM for Babylon, as well as John the 17th chapter. And reader, you can start at the top when you are ready.
In the book of John, chapter 17, chapter, out of the King James Version of the Bible, chapter 1. These words spake Yahushua and lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee.
Right, glorify thy Son, so that thy Son also may glorify thee, right? Go ahead.
As thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him.
And pay attention to that last sentence, okay? He says, as thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. So he is acknowledging that the Father has given him some people, right? Is it everybody who is given? It's not everybody. There are a specific set of people who are given to who the world ignorantly calls Christ, Yahushua. Right? Now from there, hold on to John, because we're going to be working from John. Okay, bookmark that if you can, Baba Kusha, and go to Matthew 22 and 10.
In the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 10.
Go ahead.
So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests.
Right, and this is a similitude of what Christ was telling the parable of the wedding feast, if you will, right? You want guests at a wedding, there's going to be a marriage, and he's telling the servants in this parable, hey, you got to go out and gather these guests for the feast, whether they be good or bad, right? At this point in time, right? This is just a parable. Go ahead.
And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw where a man which had not on a wedding garment.
Right. So he saw a man in the wedding who was sitting there who didn't have on a proper garment. Right. And this could be, this is a physical garment and also a spiritual garment. Right. Go ahead. Just for the sake of the similitude. For the parable, go ahead.
And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? Mm-hmm. And he was speechless.
Right. So, and we know now that in these days, there's so many different doctrines. There's so many different philosophies. There's so many different debates going on, right? So we got to make sure that we're speaking to the people consistently with the truth, right? And we're talking about in and out of Israel, everywhere. There's false information. You got the apologists with the John 3:16 doctrine. Everybody will be saved. But the scriptures don't say that, right? Go ahead.
Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness.
Now, in this parable, why would the king have that done if everybody can be saved? He was at the wedding, right? In this parable, the man is sitting at the wedding, but when he was asked about his garment, he had on the wrong garment. He was speechless, right? And the king commanded that they bind him up and throw him out. So if he was in the wedding and salvation was for everybody, then why was he bound up, right? And this is what we have to understand, right? This is for a specific set of people when we talk about salvation. Go ahead.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Mm-hmm. For many are called, but few are chosen. Mm-hmm. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. Mm-hmm. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of the Most High.
Do what?
That teachest the way of the Most High in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men.
Right. So we can't be so caught up in who's delivering the message, right, when we're talking about the scriptures, right? Because the truth is going to be the truth and it's going to stand on its own. And the Most High has no regard or care, right, or favoritism if you're teaching this word incorrectly. Unlike some of the churches or people who look at hierarchy like it's not. I'm not even talking about, you should always have respect for the leaders of your congregations or whatever. That's off the top, right? But they're not above reproach if they're leading the congregation in the wrong way or saying the wrong things or speaking for ill-gotten gain, right? They have to be reproached. And if you look at it and if you kind of put that next to some of the things that happens in the highest forms of governments, the hills and mountains of this wicked system, some of that stuff goes on as well, right? Now you get to the point where people can have convicted felonies, be convicted felons and run the country. Nowhere in history has that ever been a law or been a thing or been accepted in this society, right? But as you can see, we're getting down to the point where even the leaders of these specific countries or these nations, there's no reprimanding them for that, right? So who do they answer to, right? So drop that, go back to, grab Jeremiah 23:1. Jeremiah 23:1. Because even a king should and would have to answer to somebody, you would think, right? Or have some kind of authority over their kingship or their rulership, right? But in a lot of cases, when you have governors, you have modern day presidents, you have the Senate, there's often no regulation for some of the things that they do. And who suffers for it? The people at the bottom, right? A theocracy should be designed and set up not only for rulership because the people are trusting this ruler, but also for justice, for fairness, right? That's what it should be designed to do when you put someone in power over you, right? Fairness and justice and balance, right? That's what the people, the poor of the people that's what they require and that's what they should want. But that's not what happens when you have wicked forms of government or you have people in their own agenda, right? Go ahead.
Read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1. Woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Lord Yahweh.
What did the Most High say?
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Lord Yahweh.
And woe means destruction, right? And this is not a light thing. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Most High Power. Read on.
Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, Most High Power of Israel.
Of who?
Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, Most High Power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people.
Right, so you have to make sure you're feeding the people the correct food, the correct diet, the correct spiritual diet, the correct physical diet for that matter, right? Go ahead.
Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I the Most High will visit upon you the evil of your doings, said the Lord Yahweh.
Right, and the Most High does this to our people. He does this to a lot of these organizations, churches, and leaders, right? The Most High is setting these people up for destruction because he said, woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastures, right? And this happened to us, and we know this is one of the curses, right? We got destroyed. We're over here. We don't know who we are. We're in every manner of wickedness, right? And people are looking for justice. People are looking for hope. But they also should be fed correctly. Go ahead.
And I the Most High will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries.
Now read that again.
And I the Most High will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries where I the Most High have driven them.
Right, and the Most High said he's going to gather the remnant because he always, and we know this, left a remnant, right, who are going to worship in truth and in spirit regardless because they're going to identify and know the truth, right? And we know the Most High said his sheep hear his voice. We understand that. Read on.
And will bring them again to their foes.
And do what?
And will bring them again to their foes. And they shall be fruitful and increase.
Read on.
And I the Most High will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them.
Which shall what?
And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them.
So there's going to be some correction at some point in time, right? There's going to be a straight path at some point. You're going to be able to say you got it or you didn't, right? Go ahead.
And they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed.
Nor be what?
Nor be dismayed.
Okay, go ahead.
Neither shall they be lacking, said the Lord Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that I the Most High will raise unto David a righteous branch. And a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
And notice the Most High is saying he's going to raise a king, right? He's going to raise up that king. So if you have a president, a modern day pharaoh over you, a governor or a president, who do they answer to and who have they been set up by? Because at some point in time, they're not even going to heed correct counsel or proper judgment to execute proper judgment, right? Go ahead.
In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called, the Lord Yahweh, our righteousness.
Right. And that's how theocracy works. Because if you look at early, I'll say 14th, 15th century, right? When theocracy or kingship was an actual status in these realms and regions, the king ruled, right? And people feared the king. And the king would always say that they were set up by God. But were they really set up by God? At the end of the day, they were, absolutely. But were they following righteousness and rolling out righteousness to the people? In most cases, no. They did what they wanted to, right? That's a lot of power to have. You begin to get cloudy. You begin to misjudge things. You begin to act on your own accord. You're the king. There's no one for you to answer to, right? Read on.
Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that they shall no more say, the Lord Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries where the eye of the Most High had driven them.
Right, and we know that the Israelites are scattered everywhere to this very day, right? How come they never read this in church, right? How come they don't understand this, that the Israelites are going to be gathered, not everybody? They never say that because they're still operating on that John 3:16 doctrine. And I'm not here to bash the church or different philosophies and doctrines, right? But there has to be some correction to understanding, and people are going to fight it tooth and nail, as you'll see over this next 2 to 4 years here, right? And they're going to go even harder because the devil knows he has but a short time. So we got to be vigilant, we got to be sober, and we got to be awake, right? And the people that we teach, the people around us, we have to keep on that course and keep our heads straight because, and this is just a personal opinion of mine, over the next 2 to 4 years, I think we're going to start seeing some of that physical manifestation of what the devil said he was going to do, right? Go ahead.
They shall dwell in their own land. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of the Lord Yahweh, and because of the words of his holiness.
What verse you in?
Verse 9.
Okay, go ahead.
Now verse 10.
Okay, cut.
For the land is full of adulterers. For because of swearing the land mourneth. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right.
Right, and as you can see now, you know, the land, the people in the land are wicked, and that's to this very day, right? Our people are waxing worse and worse. The government's waxing worse and worse, right? Also, the land in Israel is dried up, right? It's in mourning until the real people get back into that land. The wilderness is dried up as well, right? Go ahead.
For both prophet and priest are profane. Yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, said the Lord Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on, and fall therein. For I the Most High will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, said the Lord Yahweh.
And one thing that's going to be prominent, as you'll see come to pass, is that these people are going to, there's going to come a point in time where these people are going to be looking for answers. Those mega churches, the churches, or your pastor, or whoever you're getting your spiritual food from, these people are going to want real answers in desperation, right? Go ahead. And that's when a lot of that judgment is going to come back on these people.
And I the Most High have seen folly in the prophets.
Have what?
And I the Most High have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesize in Baal.
And what?
They prophesize in Baal. And cause my people Israel to err.
Right. And we're going to break it down when we go a little bit further. A lot of our people in desperation, right? That's why the name of my class is They Will Try to Take BALM for Her, because our people are still practicing that Baal worship to this very day, right? And you might not even think about it, right? No, I'm just voting, brother. I'm just want to do what's right for the country. No, no. You're putting up a pharaoh over you that is not of your people, first and foremost. Oh, I don't care about that, brother. You know, we're going to go into the future here. This is going to get straightened out. Yeah, okay, right? This is, and especially if you are a person who's supposed to believe in the Bible, you can't believe in America and believe in the Bible at the same time. You can't hold them both up. I'm sorry. You can't. Regardless of how you feel about it, you can't, right? Go ahead.
I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doth return from his wickedness.
Right. And bringing it up to speed here and comparing this to Babylon the Great now, right? It says they strengthen also the hands of evildoers, right? You notice in this society, the more wicked you are, the further you get ahead. Right? That's just how it's set up. right? We was talking about it yesterday. Let's say if you're a school teacher or if you're a doctor or a lawyer, these should be some of the most prominent people in this country. But what? It's people who are waxing worse and worse. The more evil, the eviler you are, the more ill-gotten gain you receive, and the more recognition you receive, and the more praise you get, right? And we know that's off. Go ahead.
They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
Right, and we know that the Most High called America spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritual Egypt and spiritual Babylon, right? Go ahead.
Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts concerning the prophets, behold, I will feed them with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land.
Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart.
And that's what we can't do. If it doesn't come out of this book, if it's not scripture, we won't comment or say anything on it. It's gotta, if you coming out of this Bible, it's got to be straight, and you got to be teaching it correctly, right? So we're not going off of our own mind up in here, right? And if you notice, a lot of, and again, I'm not beating up on the churches or, and a lot of our people, they know the truth, and people are coming against this word. When they come against Israelite camps and they come against the teachings of Israel, they're not coming against you. They're not coming against us. They're coming against the Most High. That's who they're mad at. They're not mad at you because you're there with the Bible. They're mad at that too, but they're ultimately at the very end of the day mad at the Most High's word. Right? Read that last precept again, Baba Kujan.
Okay, it says, but they really think they're coming against us.
Right.
Yeah, they really think they're getting back at us.
Right. They want the views, they want the accolades. They talk about black Hebrew Israelites. You're not coming against us. Sad to say out there.
And all you're doing is heaping coals of fire upon your own head for a time of judgment.
Con. And I'm starting to see more and more is becoming popular to come up against the word of the Most High through Israelites. It's becoming popular to try to step and damage the doctrine, denounce the doctrine, right? If we're starting to see that as well, a lot more with other channels, other YouTubers. So people are going to be confused, right? We already know Vocab's a demon and a devil. We know him, right? But there's other people who are in his suit who are coming against the word of the Most High, causing a lot of confusion.
Geno Jennings, the Most High gonna shut his mouth too.
Con. And here's another one.
Shut his mouth up. He like to talk a lot of crap.
Right.
And we in the Bible, yet he can't acknowledge that we're the Israelites. The Most High is gonna shut his big fat mouth.
There you go. There you have it.
Arrogant too.
Con. And I know Geno Jennings, he knows the truth, but I think it'll cost him too much to lose everything if he taught it correctly and directly. It'll cost him too much. He's at the point of no return, as they say. I'm not saying the brother can't tighten it up, come back, but I feel like he might be in the right, the point of no return because he's so arrogant in how he teaches. So there's that. Reader, come on.
They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart.
They do what?
They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Lord Yahweh.
Right. So we gotta, and this is why this is beautiful. The Most High is waking up that remnant who is seeing the truth, right? Who are looking past anyone who's using this word, speaking vainly out of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Most High. That's a beautiful thing, because otherwise, if you don't have this truth and have this word in the coming time, it's going to get real bad in this country. It has to. It has to. Right? Go ahead.
They say still unto them that despise me, the Lord Yahweh hath said.
They do what? Oh, read that back.
They say still unto them that despise me, the Lord Yahweh hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you.
Right. And you have to notice that vibration. So if you're a church-going person, and this is, to the folks who are viewing the show, if you're a church-going person or you watch the YouTubes, make sure that pastor or that teacher is coming out of the scriptures and trying to be sincere about leading the people to salvation, because that's ultimately what's at hand. Otherwise, everybody's wasting their time, right? So start to be circumspect around what these people are saying. Whoever is teaching you, be circumspect, right? And start studying. Go ahead.
For who hath stood in the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, and hath perceived and heard his word? Who have marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord Yahweh is going forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of the Lord Yahweh shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart.
Have performed what?
Until he has performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days, ye shall consider it perfectly.
Most High said you should consider it perfectly what the will of the Most High was. It's not going to be any confusion anymore. It's going to be straight, right? And these are the harsh days that we haven't seen yet, right? We know they're coming, but this is what the ultimate fury and grief of the Most High, right? This is what he has laid up for the wicked. So we must do everything in our power now while we have grace, right? To seek the Most High, fervently pray, and just watch it collapse, because they shooting off ICBM nuclear missiles, capable nuclear missiles. You got some places in Europe, they're getting ready for war. They're battening down, getting ready for war. And people over here, they're worried about Christmas and Thanksgiving, right? That's what's on their agenda. They're preparing people, NATO, they're talking about gearing up, and it's not stopping. And if you notice anything about Joe Biden these days, you don't see him anymore, but he's doing everything he can to go ahead and get this war started, right? He just sent those missiles over to what is it? Ukraine, right? In Russia, they're driving a hard line. They told London or England, hey, you're next. You're next. So the rhetoric isn't slowing down. This is the day and the ages that we're in. And it's not going to stop for anybody. All praise to the Most High, right? Go ahead.
Aynwah, could you read that verse again?
Absolutely.
Read that verse again. I want to comment on that.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
The anger of the Lord Yahweh shall not return unto he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart.
See, the thoughts of his heart, not the thoughts that the people have this society. Oh, we wanted Kamala Harris to win and things would get better.
Right.
Understand? So now they're starting to see now that she didn't win, that what this country is really about. But they haven't seen it in its full entirety. But they're going to see it very soon. That part, continue reading it.
In the latter days, ye shall consider it perfectly.
The Most High saying, in the latter days of this kingdom, they're going to consider perfectly what the Most High was talking about all these years.
Absolutely.
They have the wrong understanding of the Most High and his plans. But they're going to see it in these last days when they see the system how it's going to turn against them. Because what they're starting to see now, that the system is based on white supremacy.
Right.
And that's not going to change.
Right. Absolutely. And that's what the system is based upon. And that's what's going to be a lot of that. The white supremacy is going to try to be executed within the next 4 years here. Right? And one thing about, what is his name? Trump. One thing about him is that when he was during his first election, when he got into office, he moved. Right? When he got into office, all his executive orders, everything, he just came in day one doing his thing. Right? And that's what he's going to do when he gets back in office, if he gets back in office, right? If Biden don't start this war and he has to stay locked in as a selected, right? The selected so-called president. But these are the times that we're in. So Kamala, we say it all the time because these are the prophecies. We're in prophecy time now. This is where it's at, right? And all we got to do is sit back and watch and pray. Read verse 20 again.
The anger of the Lord Yahweh shall not return unto he have executed until he have performed the thoughts of his heart.
Of his heart, right? Go ahead.
In the latter days, ye shall consider it perfectly.
Read on.
I, the Most High, have not sent these prophets, neither yet they ran.
Yet they ran. Read on.
I, the Most High, have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied.
Right. So there's a lot of people out there with the Bible, right? A lot of different doctrines, a lot of different churches, a lot of different YouTube teachings. But the Most High didn't send these people. They're running, but they weren't sent, right? They're sent to deceive the people, sent to come up against the Most High, right? There's all kind of crazy stuff out there. So you have to be absolutely locked in and weighing in the balance for your own salvation what's being said, right? Go ahead. You got a question or you got a comment? Oh, hold on, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
It's easier to speak lies and things that the Most High doesn't say than to speak truth.
Right.
Because to speak truth is a consequence.
Mm-hmm.
You might either lose your job.
Yep.
You might either lose your reputation or something that you value much in this society when you speak truth.
Right.
But when you uphold lies, you could keep everything that you want to have in this society.
Right.
And that's what most people realize. If I stand up and speak, I might lose my life. I might lose my money I got, my prestige.
Right.
And that's what people is worried about. They're not concerned about truth and righteousness in the earth.
That's exactly it. That's a very good point. People are concerned about the truth and what it takes to actually make it go forth and bring it forth. And that's what Christ did. That's why he was basically on the run for speaking the truth. Yes, a question or a comment or?
When it says, in the latter days you shall consider it perfectly. This is why a lot of people are reading the scripture for themselves.
There you go.
And they're not just taking out the word from these lying pastors out there.
Right.
In the Christian church.
Exactly.
The Christian church is constantly saying, oh, pray for America, pray for America. It says that the Most High will do what he purposes to do in his heart.
There you go.
Not what they think they can pray and try to convince the Most High to do.
Right. That's it. That's a beautiful point, brother. Beautiful point. And again, I'm not here. My class is not about beating up on the Christian church, but there needs to be some correction, right? There needs to be some correction and direction before it's too late, right? And we know we're getting down to the wire here. Read on.
But if they had stood in my counsel,
But if they did what?
but if they had stood in my
And we
counsel,
know that these are the curses, right? That was going to happen to us, Israel especially anyway, right? But now that you got camps everywhere, right? But you want Thanksgiving. You want Christmas. You don't want to hear that no more. YouTube, right? This truth is spread. It's out there. We know that. Go ahead.
and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way.
Right. And like Ben said, it's easier to believe the lie, the made up lie, than believe the truth. The lie is comfortable, right? The lie is all accolades, it's decorated. It looks like a great production. It's set up to be the truth, but it's not. And like the scripture said, evildoers are being praised for these things rather than just having the straight truth, right? And that's why we got to start talking straight truth out there. Right?
And from the evil of their doings, am I the Most High a power at hand, said the Lord Yahweh, and not a power afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I, the Most High, shall not see him, said the Lord Yahweh. Do not I, the Most High, fill heaven and earth, said the Lord Yahweh. Right,
so this is what the Most High said, the earth is his footstool, right? And his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, right? So there's nothing you can do for the truth or against it. The only thing we can do is walk in spirit and in truth and in prayer and adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High set before. That's it. Go ahead.
I, the Most High, have heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
And that's what people don't want to let go of, right? When they're challenged with the correct doctrine or a different doctrine, they don't even want to examine what's being said, right? You don't even want to take counsel or talk about what's being said to you. You're just taking what you've heard for 10, 15 years and you're accepting that, right? But yet you're being prophesied lies. You're being told the lies and not the truth, rather. Right? Go ahead.
Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
For who?
For Baal.
For that name Baal. All right. Go ahead.
The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff of the wheat, said the Lord Yahweh.
So the Most High is saying, what is the chaff to the wheat? What is the grass to the wheat? Right? Read that last precept again.
What is the chaff of the wheat, said the Lord Yahweh? Is not my word like as a fire, said the Lord Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh rock into pieces? Therefore, behold, I the Most High am against the prophets, said the Lord Yahweh, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I the Most High am against the prophets, said the Lord Yahweh, that use their tongues and say, he saith.
Right. All this, again, that false prophesying, that production, Christianity, Catholicism is also in that bag, right? And every other religion is also in that bag, because those are idol gods, and also the gods of Baal, as we're going to dig into, right? And just bringing it up to speed, Baal is also an idol, right? That people are using today that they don't know. When you're out there voting, your Christianity, your wood and your stone, right? Go ahead.
And Baal is also a combination of philosophy, doctrines, pagan worship, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. These days coming up now, the most pagan days that's coming up, that all the churches invest to and put out there for our people to celebrate. I don't care what church you are, they all celebrate Christmas and these pagan days.
Right.
You understand? And they try to justify it.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's all the worship of Baal.
Absolutely, that's correct. All that's and even up to your political system, they're also investing in Baal worship, right? So, brother, if you would please, could you? This is out of the the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, right? Read the definition of Baal for me. Let me get that to you, right? And we'll just bring it up to speed. Like Ben said, everybody, government's invested into it, right? The president pardons a turkey every year, and Groundhog Day, and Christmas trees, right? Right? Go ahead, yeah, come on, go ahead.
Yeah, the definition of Baal. Other one, possessor.
No, read it as you see it.
Oh, pardon me,
yeah.
Appears in the OT with a variety of meanings. Master or owner.
Master or owner, right?
Exodus 21:28, 34, Judges 19:22, husband, Exodus 21:3, 2 Samuel 11:26. Usually, however, it refers to form God of the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians, and Canaanites, responsible for crops, flocks.
Okay, and this is Phoenician. This was Phoenician worship. This was Hamitic worship. The Canaanites worshipped Baal, right? And what did Israel do? They fornicated with these gods when they were in those lands, right? And that's what happened to us as well. Go ahead.
Responsible for crops, flocks, fuctions, farm families. Each locally had its own Baal. The Baalim were worshipped on high places with lasciviousness rites.
Right. So this is what Israel began to put up on their farms and their philosophies and in their doctrines and in their houses and for their pagan days, right? Because it was Phoenician worship and also it was Hamitic worship. All right, is there more on that? Go ahead.
And human sacrifice.
Then what?
And human sacrifice. Altars to Baal were built in Palestine. Jezebel in Israel, and Athaliah in Judah, champion Baal worship, 1 Kings 16:3, 32, 2 Chronicles 17:3. Three descendants of Reuben, 1 Chronicles 5:5. 4 Benjamite, 1 Chronicles 8:30. In composition, it is often the name of a man and not of Baal.
Is that it?
Baal Hathon, 1 Chronicles 149.
All right, that's good enough. But
That's it. That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And I'll kind of put it back in context again, but that's just showing you some scripture too, as where Jezebel began to have Judah going off, right, worshiping Baal. Okay, so that's what was happening in our gates, and that's why we went off early on, and we're suffering from the sins of our fathers to this day. So I'll just read it really quickly. Baal was a lord, a possessor, a husband. Appears in the OT with a variety of meanings: master or owner, husband. Usually, however, it refers to a farm god of the Phoenicians and Canaanites, responsible for crops, flocks, farm families. Each locality had its own Baal. So you had your own little pagan, just like you got a cross, or you got what is it, the Catholics have the statues, they have all the little items and little statues and saints that they have. That's all paganism. Christmas trees, turkeys, the philosophies, the doctrines, right? Wanting Kamala Harris to be your president, right? Putting Baal, that's putting a form of Baal over you, right? That's when you break it down to what they were doing thousands of years ago. It's the same thing, right? Did you have something to say?
You can also think of Baal worship is when you're needing comfort and you don't go to the Most High, you go somewhere else to seek your comfort.
Right.
That is Baal worship.
There you go. There you go. That's in a great nutshell. If you're not seeking the comfort of the Most High, the brother said, you're seeking the comfort somewhere else, right? You're essentially seeking Baal comfort, or heathen paganistic worship. You're wanting Christmas. You're wanting Thanksgiving, right? No, I don't want to hear it. We've been doing Thanksgiving for 50 years, right? That's Baal worship. It's comfortable. We understand that, but you got to come out of that, right? Go ahead, baby.
And to show you how deep the Baal worship goes to, like I said, it goes back to the Canaanites, right? The Phoenicians, which was one of the goddess called Europa. This is where the name Europe comes from.
Yeah.
And white people so dumb and stupid, they think that when they hear the word Europe, it means white people. But it came from the African goddess Europa that was named after Europe. And this is where all the pagan customs that they celebrate today come from.
Right.
All of their pagan customs came from these African nations.
Right, and it's just taking different forms, and you call it Christmas, you call it Thanksgiving, you call it Kwanzaa, you call it whatever you want to, but we're not adhering to what the Most High wants us to do. You're taking comfort of Baal. No, I'm not. I'm just having dinner. We're at Grandma's house for the last 20 years, right? Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. What they say, but we're doing this for the kids.
We're doing it for the kids, right? That's another thing that our people say. We're doing it for the kids, right? All right, is there more? Let's go back in Jeremiah. We're getting ready to jump.
Verse 23?
No, I think you were in, read 32 and then we're going to jump.
Okay. Read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 32. Behold, I, the Most High, am against them that prophecy, false dreams, said the Lord Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies.
And cause my people to err by their lies, right? Go ahead.
And by their lightness yet.
In their lightness. It's a light thing, right? They treat it as a light thing to go against the Most High word. It's nothing to go against the Most High's word. I don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. It's light to them, but it's not a light thing to go against the Most High. We understand that. Go ahead.
I, the Most High, sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore, they shall not profit this people at all, said the Lord Yahweh.
There you go. They're not profiting the people, and that's why we come into play, right? Most High willing, we're in truth and sincerity, teaching this word correctly and directly, as the Spirit has moved us. Right? Go ahead.
So now it says that it all you did was get full, and now you're getting high blood pressure, or you ate something that you weren't supposed to eat, you got indigestion.
Yeah.
You're not comforted at all. You don't sought after another false god, but you're not comforted at all.
There you go.
No good.
There you go. That's in a nutshell again. There you go. That's perfect, right on point. Right? So we got to start doing the right things, doing the things the right way. All right? And from there, let's go back to John 17. And we're at verse 3.
Read the book of John, chapter 17, verse 3. And this is life eternal, that they might know thee.
That they might what?
And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true Most High power.
And remember, this is Yahweh praying in Gethsemane, right? And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true power. Go ahead.
And the Mashiach Yahweh, whom thou hast sent.
Whom thou hast sent. Read on.
I, Yahweh, have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do.
Now, from there, go to John 1 and 14. John 1 and 14. And you see Christ acknowledging that the Most High sent him, right?
Read the book of John, chapter 1, verse 14. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
And we know that with this scripture, we know that Yahweh was the Word in the beginning. He was sent as the Word, right? He was always in the beginning, right? Now go back to John 17. Just wanted to bring that out. And no, from there, go to Sirach 24 and 1. Yeah, go there first.
Second edge is what?
Ecclesiasticus, yes, Ecclesiasticus 24.
That's what Sirach is.
Yeah. And that's another breadcrumb too for, people watching, that Christ was the Word in the beginning, and that goes back to Genesis. Right? He was the Word, and you have to understand that. Okay. Go ahead.
17?
Sirach 24.
Oh, 24. 24 and what?
24 and verse. Start at the top and what?
Top, okay. Read the book of Ecclesiastes, Sirach, and the book of Apocrypha, chapter 24, verse 1. Wisdom shall praise herself, and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth, and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High,
Wisdom,
and covered the earth as
word.
a cloud.
And that's talking about wisdom, the Word, right? Read that back. Read 3 again.
I came out of the mouth of the Most High, and covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven, and walked in the bottom of the deep, in the waves of the sea, and in all the earth, and in every people and nation, I got a possession. With all these, I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel.
Israel, right. So the truth is with and in Israel. That's where the wisdom lies, right? And that's why people will come against this word, will fight against you tooth and nail, right? Because you absolutely can't be the people, right? You can't be teaching us. And it might even sound good to them. They might even think that you're right, but they still don't want to believe you. You can't know the word of the Most High. You can't have the correct doctrine, right? But as we see wisdom, the scriptures, right? The power dwells in Jacob. That's it. Come again? That's yeah, absolutely. That's a oh, the precept. You can read. That's actually Genesis, the 2nd chapter, I believe. Let me see. You said you had the precept?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 1,
Okay.
verse 2. And the spirit of God, the spirit of Yahweh, the power moved upon the face of the water.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yes.
Go ahead. Read that. Read that. That's a beautiful precept. Go ahead. Read that in Genesis 1. Again, people in TV land, this is from the beginning. The word was from the beginning. And the brother brought in the precept. And you can read the 2nd chapter as well, but you can go to Genesis, the 1st chapter, and then the 2nd verse of the book. And this is what Christ was saying, right? Over in the book of St. John. Read that, Genesis 1 and 2, Bible Shah.
Sure.
Yeah. It's like it.
That's what's up.
And his inheritance is in Israel. He created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. Verse 10, in the holy tabernacle I served before him, and so was I established in Zion. Go ahead.
Genesis 1.
Verse 2.
Oh, wait. Now the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Mm-hmm. And the spirit of the Most High power move upon the face of the waters.
Right, the spirit, the truth of the Most High, the word of the Most High, ultimately Yahushua, right, who was there since the beginning. And this is what the church needs to be teaching the people instead of everything else, right? Everything that doesn't apply to how you get your salvation or that hope for salvation. All right, the water for that precept, and we read through the verse 9, so drop that Sirach, and let's jump back over to John 17.
Aynwah,
Go ahead, Khan.
read that 8th verse down to read the 8th verse again and read down to
And
read all the way down to 13.
in
That's in Genesis 1?
No.
in Sirach.
In Sirach.
Oh,
It's
Sirach.
24. Read
20.
the 8th verse
All right.
and read all down to the 13th verse because it's so deep in there.
All right. But out of the book of Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter 24, verse 8. So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel.
So he's letting it be known to everybody, mainly to the prophet, that my inheritance and my dwelling is going to be in Jacob. That's the people. All right, go ahead.
He created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. In the holy tabernacle I served before him, and so was I established in Zion.
In Zion. Zion is Jerusalem. All right, go ahead. I'm going to show you something of that too. Go ahead.
Khan.
Likewise, in the beloved city he gave me rest,
And what was the beloved city? Jerusalem. All right, go ahead.
and in Jerusalem was my power, and I took root in an honorable people, even in the portion of the outer one's inheritance.
We are the Most High's inheritance. Nobody else. All right, go ahead.
I was exalted like a cedar in Lebanon.
Right, so Lebanon means Lebanon. So what the Most High is showing you here now, the Most High is so good. He's showing you spiritually, physically, and he's showing you a geographical location of where the land of Israel is. Because some people like to get stupid today and tell you that Jerusalem is down in Africa somewhere in Angola.
The garden is in Africa.
So the Most High shown you where Jerusalem was situated. Lebanon is situated not down in Angola.
Right.
Lebanon is situated in the area between Israel and Syria. He's giving you a geographical location where Lebanon is. Lebanon today is where Hezbollah, that's where Hezbollah is situated, in the land of Lebanon. All right? Go ahead.
And as a cypress tree up on the mountains of Hermon.
Where is Mount Hermon? In the same area of Lebanon. The whole area where Hezbollah is situated is known as Hermon, Lebanon. That whole area that Hezbollah occupied. Okay? Go ahead.
I was exalted like a palm tree at the end
En-Gedi.
of Gadi.
En-Gedi is a place in Jerusalem. All right? It's close to Jericho. All right? Go ahead.
And as a rose plant in Jericho.
Where is Jericho? Jericho is on the western part of Israel, close to where the Gaza Strip is. All right, go ahead.
As a fair olive tree in a pleasant field, and grew up as a plant tree by the water.
So the Most High is showing you a geographical location of where Israel is today.
Right.
A lot of people like to get stupid and tell you it's somewhere down in Angola.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So the Most High is showing you where it's situated, so you wouldn't get the wrong ideas.
Right. And this is why we read the scriptures, for clarity, right? That's the perfect point. You know, there's, again, all these doctrines out there where Israel actually is, where the garden is South Africa somewhere, or, you know, all these philosophies, right? We got to get away from that and come back to the scriptures. And also, too, in this description, when he's saying he was exalted like a cedar, the Most High also looks at us as trees, right? We're also trees, right? And what trees do fruit bear, good or bad fruit, right? So we're also, that comparison comes out here as well, right?
And then too, to add to that, when Solomon was building the temple, where did he get all the timber from?
Yep.
From Lebanon. He got the Canaanites, who were lumbermen. That was what you call today
Masons.
tree cutters. That got all the trees from up in Lebanon and brought it down the river to furnish and to decorate the temple,
Right.
and furnish it.
Yeah.
All right. So people have to understand geography of the Bible and get proper understanding of the scriptures, and stop bringing their own misunderstanding to confuse people.
Right. Exactly. That's it. And that's why we read and we study to show ourselves approved. So we get these things as straight as possible, right? Through the spirit that the Most High has rested upon us. And that's it. Okay. Now from there, let's go over. That was a beautiful point, Ben. Now let's go back to John, and let's go to 17 and verse 4.
In the book of John, chapter 17, verse 4. I have glorified thee on earth.
Right. And this is Yahushua again in the Garden of Gethsemane, right? Praying for himself, also praying for the 12 that were with him, and also praying for the nation for the future. Right? Go ahead.
I, Yahushua, have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I, Yahushua, had with thee before the world was.
Going back to Genesis 1, the brother brought a beautiful precept. 1 and 2. Genesis 1 and 2 right there, right? In John 1. He was the Word before the world was. Read verse 6.
I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world.
Now that's very important. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me. Go ahead.
Out of the world, thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word.
And they have kept this word, so it's not for everybody, right? Because not everybody's going to call on the name of the Most High, their true names, right? And a lot of people won't even say Yahweh Yahushua, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They want God and Jesus. That's it, right? Or whoever else they're calling on. Baal worship, all right? And this is why they will try to take BALM for her as much as they can in any fashionable way they can, whether it's so-called spiritually or those physical manifestations that have to happen as well. Read on. Actually, go hold that. Hold that verse 6, and let's go to John 18 and 9. Jump over to 18 and verse 9, Baba Kushab.
In the book of John, chapter 18, verse 9. That the saying might be fulfilled, which he spake. Of them which thou gavest me, have I lost none.
And also, now that's a heavy one. That's a heavy scripture too, because when you look back at read 17 and let me see where is it? 18:9. Yeah, read verse 6 again. Read John
chapter
17,
17,
yeah.
verse 6.
Now something's happening here, right? Read 6. Go ahead.
I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me.
So the Most High, these were your men. You gave these men to me. Go ahead.
And they have kept thy
And they
word.
have kept my word. All right, now jump over to 18 and verse 9. Because if you see what he's doing here, he's actually fulfilling the prophecy that he just spoke about. Read that.
John 18, verse 9. That the saying might be fulfilled.
He said, what did he say? What does it say?
That the saying might be fulfilled, which he spake. Of them which thou gavest me, have I lost none.
So he's not going to lose not one person of his men, of the elect. He's not losing any men or women or children, right? Of the elect, he's not losing anyone because the word was already since the beginning, right? So it's already his set done deal. It's just we have to stay the course in our faith. It's already set. It's already set, right? And we just have to watch these things play out in the earth. That's it. But it was already said that he wasn't going to lose any. He just confirmed that in 18 and verse 9 here, about 17 and 6, if that makes sense to anybody. Okay? Now read, go to verse 7, John 17:7, Baba Kushab.
In the book of John, chapter 17, verse 7. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. For I, Yahushua, have given unto them the words which thou gavest me.
So I'm giving them what you gave me, which is the word, and I am the word since the beginning, right? Go ahead.
And they have received them, and have known surely that I, Yahushua, came out from thee. And they have believed that thou didst send me.
Right. And that crushes the Holy Trinity doctrine. The God is Jesus doctrine. He's clearly telling you that he sent me as his own individual, which was the word, as his own individual person, right? People will fight with you about that, right? The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? All wrapped into one, right? It doesn't make any sense. All right, now let's go from there. Let's go to Romans chapter 11. Yeah, Romans chapter.
The book of Romans, chapter 11, verse.
From the top.
The book of Romans. Oh man. The book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, hath the Most High cast away his people?
And who is this? This is Paul, right? Writing a letter to his to the church in Romans, to the Romans, right? Go ahead.
Most High forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right, and he's clearly, obviously telling you who he is in his body, in his own person, right? He didn't say he was a spiritual Israelite, right? He's saying, no, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, right? Of the seed of Abraham. So again, taking it back from the beginning, right? Go ahead.
The Most High power has not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What? ye not what the scripture said of Elias, how he maketh intercession of the Most High against Israel, saying, Aynwah, they have killed my prophets and digged down thy altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
Right. So bringing that back up to, I'll read it all the way through, down to 3.
Say it again.
Reading out the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 11 and 1. I say then, have the Most High cast away his people? The Most High forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So you covered a lot of ground right there. You're going back to the beginning and also letting you know, he's letting you know what your tribe is, right? Of the tribe of Benjamin. Yahweh have not cast away his people, which he foreknew. Well, yea, not what the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Yahweh, they have killed the prophets and digged down thy altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. Right? So this is what's happening to the prophets even in the beginning. Right? They were being hunted and being killed, but they were still prophets. Right? This is when they would openly kill you for calling somebody a viper. Or that's the Roman Empire. But they were killing prophets, right? Because they wanted their worship. They wanted to do what they wanted to do, right? So with that, let's see what Paul is talking about. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 18. Let's see what Paul was talking about, because this is when the kings of Judah was really into that Baal worship, right? This is when the kings a lot of them was going off.
The book of Kings, 1 Kings chapter 18, verse.
Yeah, hang on, let me get there. 1 Kings, we're gonna go 18 from the top. Baba Kusha. All right, you can go ahead when you got it, brother.
That book of 1 Kings.
Slakia, 18. I said 18, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 18 and 1. Go ahead.
That book of 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 1. And it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go, show thyself unto Ahab.
Now jump to verse 4.
Verse 4. For it was so, when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord Yahweh, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave. And fed them with bread and water.
Right, so there was always prophets. And as you see here, there was 100 prophets, took them by 50 by a cave, right? Now, did they all get books? No. But they were still prophets, right? They were still teaching the word of the Most High, right? Now, from there, go to verse 16.
In 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 16. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, and Ahab said unto him, Art thou he that troubleth Israel?
Right, now listen to this. This is what Ahab is saying. He's saying, Elijah, are you coming here to trouble Israel? A prophet coming to cause trouble? Because back in those days, when you saw a prophet coming, it was good or bad news. It's either good or bad news, and the prophets, he's going to get out of Dodge.
And he's coming to tell you the truth or the Most High judgment.
Khan, he's coming to tell you the truth of the Most High's judgment, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. And he's moving on. So Ahab is like, listen, are you coming to trouble us? What are you doing? Right? Go ahead, read that verse 18 again. Or verse 17?
Yeah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, Art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou.
So I haven't troubled Israel. You troubled Israel, right? Go ahead.
And thy father's house.
And your father's house, your seed. Go ahead.
And that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord Yahweh, and thou hast followed Baalim. Now therefore sin, and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal, 450 and for the prophets of the groves 400 which eat at Jezebel's table.
Right. So Obadiah told Ahab, all right, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead and gather all Israel, right, at Mount Carmel, right? And you're going to gather the prophets of Baal as well, right? Because we're going to see what it is. Right? We're going to see what's what.
What I like about the Most High, the Most High loves geography, man.
Yeah.
The Most High chose a specific mountain. He said, go to Mount Carmel, all right? Because that was a place of testing all the false prophets. Where the Most High destroyed it. And Mount Carmel is in Israel. It's in the land of Israel, all right? And that's where he took those prophets to prove them, all right?
That's it. That's a beautiful.
The Most High is so methodic and strategic.
And to the point, yeah, exactly. It's real. It's a production to somewhere, right? And it's very, very meticulous, and it's very detail orientated. And I didn't know that Mount Carmel was a place that they took the prophets for judgment. And that's a beautiful thing. So what's it going to be? So he gathered all these people, all these prophets, all Israel, right? Read verse 19 again, Baba Hushai.
Verse 19 out of the book of 1 Kings, chapter 18, verse 19. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal.
And those prophets of Baal, right? Go ahead.
450, and the prophets of the groves 400 which eat at Jerubbaal's table.
So you're talking about over 800 people. Gather all those prophets of Baal together, right? That sit with Jezebel as well. Jezebel, right? Go ahead.
So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions?
So how long have y'all been dealing with Baal and the Most High and the commandments? How long have y'all been going in between or flip-flopping? How long have y'all been doing this? What's going on? Go ahead.
If the Lord Yahweh be the Most High power, follow him.
Right. So if the Most High is the power, then go ahead and follow the Most High. Because y'all are going off right now.
Right. You can't be playing
Right?
the Most High politics.
Right.
Or playing the Most High and then celebrating Christmas and Halloween and all this crap.
Exactly.
You can't be doing
So
that.
what's it going to be? You want to follow the Most High or you want Christmas? You want Thanksgiving, right? Because it feels good. So what's it going to be? Go ahead.
But if Baal, then follow him.
Then Baal, then go ahead. Go do Christmas because it feels good. Go to Thanksgiving. Go to Thanksgiving dinner, right? Because it feels good. Go ahead.
And the people answered him not a
He
word.
didn't say nothing. Nobody said anything, right? Maybe they're thinking about it. Maybe they got to weigh it in the balance. Okay, well, wow, that was powerful right there. Well, there's the prophets in town, so let's what do we need to be doing? They said nothing, right? Go ahead.
Then said Elijah unto the people, even I only remain a prophet of the Lord Yahweh, but Baal's prophets are 450 men.
So he went up against 450 people for the truth of the Most High, right? Standing his ground, right? Standing stiffly for the word of the Most High, right?
And that shows you that anything that's a lie, that's not truth, is in abundance.
Right. It's glorified. It's blew up.
Highly exalted.
Yeah.
And the thing that's the truth is pushed somewhere in a desolate corner.
Right.
Rejected.
Exactly. That's the truth is that small, but still has the loudest voice in the room. Over 400 prophets there, right? So we also got to remember that as well, right? When we with our families and friends who we're teaching, the truth is the truth. It doesn't matter if everybody's in there; they don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter, right? Go ahead, read on.
Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I, the Most High, will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood.
No, Zechariah, you got to read that. It ain't said
Clearly.
Most High.
Yeah, right before me. I
Elijah.
messed up that Elijah right before me.
You got to be careful what you read. It says
Yeah, stop.
Elijah, not
Right.
the Most High. Elijah. Right?
Read it from 20. Start from 22.
22?
Go
Out of the book of 1 Kings, chapter 18, verse 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, even I only remain a prophet of the Lord Yahweh, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks.
So now we're going to run a test. right? We're going to see what's what. We're going to go ahead and set up an example. Go ahead.
And let them choose one bullock for themselves.
So they're going to pick a bull for themselves. Go ahead.
And cut it in pieces.
And break it up.
And lay it on wood.
And put it on that altar. Go ahead.
And put no fire under.
And don't even stoke the fire under it. Right? We're going to see what the Most High does. We're going to see what power is what. Right? Go ahead. This is just one of the many examples how the Most High proved Israel. Right? Go ahead.
And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood and put no fire under.
Can I say it too? And notice this with Elijah. Elijah was so confident. He had no second doubt about the Most High. He said, this is what I'm going to do, and you're going to do this.
Right.
And we're going to see who's the true power.
There you go.
And that's the way we have to be in the Most High. Bold and confident,
there you
not
go.
second guessing the Most High, what he's about. And Elijah showed us right there. That's the kind of confidence we have to have in the Most High.
Absolutely. Especially going into these last days. You got to stand on what you're standing on. You got to have that confidence to be bold. Go ahead.
It's like what's written in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 15. Elijah was so studied in the Word of God
Exactly.
that that which gave him his confidence. He needed not be ashamed of the word of truth. Because
Right.
he was rightly dividing it. He knew who God was, and he knew that God was going to answer him.
There you go. And that's the boldness, and that's the faith and the hope and the boldness of that, right? So we got to be just as bold, bringing it up to speed. Go ahead.
And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord Yahweh, and the Most High power that answereth by fire. Let him be power. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken.
Right. So Elijah said, you call on BALM, Baal, I'm going to call on the Most High power, and fire is going to jump on. He's telling them what's going to happen. He already knows it. And again, this is when Israel was actually being shown the Most High's power, right? He didn't hide his face yet. So they walked in there, Elijah walked in there with that confidence, said, hey, this is what's getting ready to happen, right? And we're going to show and prove to everybody. Go ahead.
And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves, and dress it first. For ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal.
Right, so they actually did this. They actually took that bullock, dressed it down, and they called on Baal, right? Actually did this, right? Go ahead.
Can I say it too? And these were Africans. They're true native, blood-hungry, thirsty Africans. Okay? That's who they were, Africans. Right there.
Absolutely.
And they still do those wicked sacrifices. A lot of them still do those things today.
Absolutely. And then and that goes to show you again, we were mixed in with the people, right? So that's how we started to go off. Mixed in with the Africans, right? And a lot of the things that they do to this very day that is wild, right? So we got to stop following after these other nations, and we've been doing it for so long as Israel a homeborn slave, right? Go ahead, read on.
From morning even until noon,
So they
saying,
did this all day, right? Go ahead.
O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made.
Now they getting mad. They got to get up there and come on down. do something, man. Come on, no.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
They're going crazy.
They praise dance.
Yeah, they yeah, there you go. There you go. I like that. They praise danced up there. Right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them.
And Elijah mocked them. All right? That's plain and simple. He laughed at them. He mocked them. Right? Yeah.
And said, cry aloud.
Cry aloud. Speak up. Can you get louder? Go ahead.
For he is a God.
He is a God. A small G, right? Mocking him. Go ahead.
Either he is talking.
Either he's meditating, he's busy, right? Go ahead.
Or he is pursuing. Or he is in a journey.
Or he's on vacation, right? Go ahead.
Or peradventure, he sleepeth.
He is asleep, right?
And must be awake.
And must be awakened, right? So he's mocking these people for what they're doing, right?
That's a typical Israelite will do something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And we see that with Israel too. And, well, where's he at? Where's the guy? Can he come down and get me? Where's your God at? You know, they say that because it's been so long, and that's how you know, man, you know, these wicked traditions people are caught up in, these are the things that they do. They mock, right? Read 29. We'll just jump to the point. We'll go to 40. Go to read 29.
You should read up straight down.
Straight down? Okay, I planned to. Okay, go ahead.
20, okay.
I cut my class, but go ahead.
And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets.
So now it's so bad that they're literally harming themselves, right? They're harming themselves because Baal didn't show up for them. Limited power, no power, right? Go ahead.
Till the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass, when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded.
So nobody said anything. There was nobody who gave an explanation for what just happened, right? They called upon Baal all day, all afternoon. Now they jumped on the altar, praise dancing. Now they cut themselves.
And
right?
That cutting yourself too is something you used to do. The Roman Catholic Church used to do it. The priests, we call it self-inflicting themselves. They'll work themselves, beat themselves until they bleed.
Right.
They'll chastise themselves for their sins.
Right.
So beat themselves till they bleed.
Right. And so this is nothing new.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
So
an old pagan custom.
the old pagan customs, and it all goes back to the Canaanites, right? So here it is, the Roman Catholics are practicing a Canaanite, a Hamitic practice, harming themselves, cutting themselves, afflicting themselves, so to speak, right? Go ahead.
And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him.
Get a little closer. Come on, get in. Go ahead.
And he repaired the altar of the Lord Yahweh that was broken down.
So after they praise danced all over it, tore it up, built it back up again. Read it. Go ahead.
And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob.
And that's very specific, right? He took 12 stones and put them back around the altar. Go ahead.
Unto whom the word of the Lord Yahweh came, saying, Israel shall be thy name.
Yep. Israel shall be in thy name. Go ahead.
And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord Yahweh, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed.
Right, so he built the altar back up and left a little trench in that altar. Go ahead.
And he put the wood in order.
So now he's building it back up nicely, put the stones in there. He may or may not have told them that, hey, I'm putting these 12 stones in here for the children of Israel, right? Putting it all together so they can see. Go ahead.
And cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice,
Right.
and on the wood. And he said, do it the second time, and they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time, and they did it the third time.
Now, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work,
That's
yeah.
a lot of work to do all that, to get a barrel full of water,
Right.
throw it
Throw
over
it-
3 times.
Right.
And remember, they had to go and get the water. I don't think the water was.
They probably had to go down the mountain to get it, or halfway, or to a little reservoir or something, and come back up, right? And if we notice, when the Most High is giving direction, whether it was to Moses or the prophets, it always was. It was detailed. It was ceremonial. It was ritualistic. A lot of little items, a lot of little details that had to be done. Go ahead.
And the water ran round about the altar. And he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, the Lord Yahweh Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art power.
So he's declaring who the Most High is in Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Israel. Right? Go ahead.
That thou art power in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word.
At the word of the Most High, right? And he's looking at 400 prophets of Baal right across from him. They looking at him. We just saw 4 buckets of water get poured. Like, okay, what's going on here, right? And then Elijah declares who he is through the Most High. Go ahead.
Hear me, O Lord Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord Yahweh, Most High Power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Lord Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench.
Everything. The fire came down, hit the altar, burned it up, took the bones, the dust, the water, and stones. You have something?
He made it so that they had to believe, because throwing 3 buckets of water on wood.
There you
Wet
go.
wood is hard
To light.
It's
Wow.
impossible to light. So he made it hard to prove the Most High.
Right, right. He made it almost impossible to have some kind of trickery. That's a beautiful point, sister. So all the water was doused, so there's no trickery going on. There's not somebody under there getting ready to light it up. You can't light wood that's basically been trenched in water. It's hard. So now it's soaked. You got trenches. You got water over there. How is he going to do this? And wood is heavier when it's wet, right? Exactly. He's got trenches built, water's in the trenches, and the Most High, that fire came down and licked up everything. Just like that. Boom. Sweet Savior, up to the Most High. Boom. Right? Consuming fire. Go ahead.
And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces.
And now they say, oh, wow, that's the power right there. Right? Go ahead.
And they said, the Lord Yahweh, he is the power. The Lord Yahweh, he is the Most High Power. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there.
Right. And there was a penalty for that. Right? The prophets of Baal, they lost. Right? There's going to come a point until a time where the false pastors of our people and out there in the world, they're going to lose.
No, they have to die. They have to die. Unalive.
They got to die. They're unalived.
Alive.
They got to be unalived. Right? Go ahead.
This is also symbolic too. You notice that there was the water there, and out of when our mouth speaks the word of God, the water flows from us.
Right.
The Most High must answer by fire.
That's right.
When we speak the word of God,
Right.
It's a heritage
And he
that we have.
answers by fire. That's beautiful. That's a good point. That's a beautiful point too. Right? Right? The word is to water and the fire is to consume.
Yes.
And everything was consumed. Right? So we haven't seen that real power yet. You know?
My word is like fire.
Like fire. Exactly.
Breaking pieces, man.
Con.
And these false prophets had to die.
Right.
Because if they didn't die, they will continue deceiving the people.
Right.
And having the people trust in that madness.
Right,
So
exactly.
the Most High had to unalive them to make an example to Israel.
That's right. And we laugh about it, but it's not funny. Right? The Most High unalived these people. Because to Ben's point, it would continue on if they didn't. And that's what causes Israel's folly and to go off to this very day. Right? And from there, drop that. I'm going to try to land this plane here. Get Deuteronomy 17 and 15. And maybe back then, maybe they really thought that Baal was helping their crops grow, right? Or different things that was happening. They got, the Canaanites seem to be thriving a little bit around us, so let's start going off with that, right? So maybe with the Most High power, I don't know, this BALM thing is looking kind of nice. Right? The gardens is nice over there. I don't know what's going on. Let me dip and dab a little bit, right? Deuteronomy 17 and 15, Bible Shah.
We had the book of Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Yahweh Most High Power shall choose.
And this is written in the law, right? And this is an old scripture we use. Oh, you put a goodie. Read that again.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
And thou shalt in no wise, by any means, set him king over thee. Read.
Whom the Lord Yahweh Most High Power shall choose. One from among thy brethren.
Slacky, take that back. Read it from the top again.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
So you should set a king over thee. Go ahead.
Whom the Lord Yahweh Most High Power shall choose.
Who the Most High chooses. This is who you go for your leadership, right? Because if we read back in the Kings, they was going off with Baal, right? Read.
One from among thy brethren
One from among thy brethren.
shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Right, and that's what we're doing to this day, right? Obviously, we're exiled, so people are going to take the lesser of two evils, right? That's what they say. And again, like I said earlier, who do these kings, these governors, these presidents, who do they take counsel of, right? Because at the end of the day, they're ultimately going to do what they want to do. Look at Biden. He's ultimately doing what he wants to do at this point in time. He's driving this thing into the ground. All praise to the Most High. He's driving this thing into the ground. So that's the beautiful part about it. But whose counsel is he seeking? That's why it's imperative that when a king is set over the people, he rules and reigns in righteousness and takes pity upon the poor, right? Now from there, drop that. Let's
Can I
get.
say something like
Go
that?
ahead, come.
And the Most High is very serious about when he said, you're not supposed to put no stranger over you. There's supposed to be no other nation
Right.
over you as leaders, governors, nothing. It's supposed to be of your own people. But our people can't understand it. I don't think that's right.
Right.
They want to have anybody over there.
Diversity.
No, the Most High says it have to be of your own people.
Right.
It can't be no other stranger ruling over you because they're not going to rule for their best interest for you.
Right. Exactly. And that's the most hardest point. They're not going to rule over you in righteousness and to your benefit. Look at China. China, they don't put any other nation over them. Right? Amalek, they're not putting any other nation over them to rule. Right? But understanding we're in exile, but we started to do those things and believed in those things. Right?
Share a small,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Look at the Costa Nostra mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're not of that Sicilian bloodline and family, you cannot be a Costa Nostra
Right.
over their mob affiliation.
Right. You can't even be a soldier in that.
Right, you have to be of that Costa Nostra,
Right.
the bloodline of what they call it, either Sicilian or Napolitano.
Right.
You have to come from that direct family line of Italian mafia.
Right. There you go.
You can't put no damn other person over them to run as a mafia. You
Right,
crazy?
exactly. You can't rise through the ranks as a Jake and the mom and say, maybe I'll be a Dunn, right? On the lowest levels. That's a good point.
Hell no.
That's a good point. Not even the mafia put other nations ahead of them in wickedness. They knew that much. Not even in wickedness are we going to put someone over us to lead us, right? Because it just doesn't make sense to have another nation over you, right? But there again, look at China. Look at Israel, right? They're not putting other nations over them. But we're in exile. We don't have a choice. But we're going to vote for the lesser two.
But we're the only people that do
Right.
that.
We're the only
No other
people.
nation does
Right. And hopefully they don't think about giving us reparations this year that you're never going to get, right? And it was written in the law. It was. Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's it. They're under Esau too. But they're not going to put Esau over them, right? Like a Amalekite, they're not going to put an Amalekite over them. It's only our people. And from there, let's go to Psalm 72 and 1, right? So our people are going to try to take BALM for America, try to take BALM for the situation that they're in, the situations we're going into, right? And the Most High told us not to put other nations ahead of us, but we did it even in the lineage of our kings, right? And also took up other customs instead of upholding our customs.
And I said to a lot of people, might say, well, that's racist. You having a racist mindset. No.
Right.
That's the mindset the Most High wants to have.
Right, come.
That's the only way you can become productive
Right.
and stay on top.
Right, that's it.
But our people can't understand that principle. But they have to learn our people have to learn the hard way.
They learn the hard way.
We have to learn the
They're
hard
going to go the hard way, right? And that also, and to Ben's point, that's what gives you sovereignty, right? That's what gives you sovereignty. That's it. You want to be your own nation, you're going to have your own people ruling over you to be sovereign. No, you're cutting yourself off from everybody. No, that's sovereignty and rulership, ruling your own realm, right? Not having other nations decide if they can hire you or fire you, that kind of thing, right? And that's the big part of it. Okay? And that comes with rulership.
And even Trump understands that.
Right.
Donald Trump, the Teflon Don, understands that. He puts his own people up in there. He's even putting his own sons
Right.
and his daughters to run the affairs of his cabinet. They understand that. That's basic common sense.
Right.
Man.
And the average person would look at them and say, well, wait a minute. They don't have any history in politics. It don't matter. It don't matter. Put them in there. They're my kids. Loyalists. Right? Put them in there. Put them in the cabinet. This is where the government system is at right now. Bring your sons. Bring Elon Musk. Put Elon in there. Right? It's truly a form of their wisdom collapsing. And that's what I love most about it. It's a show of their wisdom. They're turning on their own foundation and what they were built on. When you look at the American Constitution and how America was built, none of this is in it, right? Even for themselves.
I also read too in many of the books, they said democracy was an experiment to see how long it was going to last. And they knew it wasn't going to last long. So it was just an experiment to see how it works.
Right.
Then eventually it was going to go back to the old way of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And people have that feeling that, and despite, and I think it's going back to that because people, despite of how they feel about Trump, they still want someone to reign over them, right? Harshly almost. They still want a harsh ruler over them because of this or because of that, whatever the case is. People still want it, right? They still want it.
They want the person that's going to harm Israel the most.
Oh, absolutely.
Israel the most.
Absolutely. That's a given, right? Let's go to Psalm 72 and verse 1, Baba
We're in
Kushai.
the book of Psalms, chapter 72, verse 1.
And this is what David said. Go ahead.
Give the king thy judgments, O Most High Power.
What book?
Psalm 72
Verse 1.
and verse 1.
72.
Yep, Psalm 72 and 1 from the top.
Give the king thy judgments, O Most High Power, and thy righteousness unto the king's son. He shall judge thy people with righteousness, and thy poor with judgment.
And this is how a ruler is supposed to rule, in judgment, right? Go ahead.
The mountains shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness.
Right, the mountain shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills, this is your government, right, by righteousness. The mountain shall bring peace to the people. You're supposed to bring peace to the people. You're not supposed to be straining the people out, overtaxing the people, right? Creating division amongst the people. That's not what a true ruler does. And if you look at all these other nations too, a lot of those nations where you'll notice there is absolutely no middle class. It's the government that has all the resources and the money, and the people, it looks like it's a third world country. Right. It doesn't make sense. They don't want to pave any roads, but you riding in a Rolls Royce on an unpaved road, talking about look what I've done. That's not fair judgment. That's not righteous judgment in your own land, in your realm, and the only one who's benefiting is you and the people you put around you instead of your country people, your poor people. You won't even pave a road, but you're in a Rolls Royce. It doesn't make sense, right? That's what happens with a lot of these smaller mountains and hills, these smaller governments in these nations. Go ahead.
He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor.
And shall what?
And shall break in pieces the oppressor.
And that's what's coming to America. That's what's coming to this earth. The current rulership will be broken, right? All his wicked ways and philosophies will be broken. Go ahead.
They shall fear thee as long as the sun and moon endure throughout all generations.
Now listen to that. And we know that the moon and the sun's not going anywhere. The Most High said it doesn't change its course or its ordinances. All right? Go ahead. What verse you in?
Verse 6.
Read 5 again.
Out of Psalm 72, verse 5. They shall fear thee as long as the sun and the moon endure throughout all generations.
Throughout all generations. That'll never cease. Go ahead.
And shall come down like rain upon the mown grass,
The mown grass.
as showers that water the earth.
Right, and that's getting that restoration, getting that true judgment, getting that true righteousness, right? Because when you mow a lawn, or you mow a lawn and you water that lawn, it's supposed to grow. It's supposed to stay green, right? It's in order, right? You know, you have the nicest yard on the block. Oh, look at my front yard. Oh yeah, ours is better than theirs. Well, they're not watering theirs. It needs water, but they're not watering it. It wants to grow. It wants to flourish, but they're not watering that yard 3 houses down. But that's how true justice and true righteousness shall reign down. Now drop that, and we'll go to, how much time do I got here? Let's go to Romans chapter 11 and verse 3. I'll go a little bit longer and cut off in like 15 minutes.
The book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 3. Adawan, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
There again, they killed the prophets back in Elijah's time, right? Till he had to show them, bring out the prophets of BALM, 800, right? He came out there by himself and proved them. And here it is again. Here's Paul giving you that similitude of what happened to Elijah. They want to kill Paul too, right? Go ahead.
But what saith the answer of the Most High? Unto him I have reserved to myself 7,000 men, who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
And that's the Most High again. The Most High always keeps a remnant that did not bow down to BALM, who didn't bend the knee, right? And was that 7,000? That's an innumerable number, right? 7's a number of completion, we know that. So that's an innumerable multitude of people, right? Again, that didn't bow down to the image of BALM, or who saw what happened during the kings with Elijah, right? Go ahead.
Even so then, at this present time also, there is a remnant according to the election of grace. And if by grace, then is it no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What then Israel have not obtained that which he sought for?
Right, so our people haven't obtained what they've been seeking for. And our people are in every philosophy and every doctrine, right? Our people in everything under the sun, every religion you can imagine, we're there. Go ahead.
But the election hath obtained it.
Right, and the Most High said he always left an election, a remnant, who have what? Obtained it, right?
And the rest were blinded.
And the rest were blinded. And there again, when you have Yahushua praying in the garden, he said, give me thine which are mine. Mine and thine. Give me who you're going to give me. He didn't say everybody. So how's everybody going to be saved? But then Paul is saying here that the election will obtain it, but the rest were blinded. Christ is saying the same thing in his prayer. Go ahead.
According as it is written, the Most High Power hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
Jump to verse 25.
Verse 25 out of Romans 11, verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits.
Right. We can't be wise in our own eyes, right? You see a lot of that in the churches, and a lot of that with the people who have a Bible and they think they know the Bible, right? Go ahead.
That blindness is happened to Israel.
Blindness happened to Israel, right? Through all the other nations. Point blank period. Go ahead.
Until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And so all Israel shall be saved,
And so all Israel shall be saved, right?
as it is written.
And it is written, because the law was given to Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go ahead.
There shall come out of Sion,
Where?
there shall come out of Sion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
No, from everybody. Right?
And shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
And what? Go back to 25
Come.
and explain that part, the ending part, where it says, until the fullness of the Gentiles
You come in. Oh, we're going to touch on that as well. Go back up to 25. Come.
Yeah.
For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery.
Right. So we shouldn't be ignorant of the mysteries, right? Of who the real Israelites are. Because it's a mystery to everybody right now, right? They're debating about it. They're going back and forth over this or that. Always a debate going on, right?
It's a debate now. Once we say we're the Israelites,
Right.
But
That's
it
the
wasn't
debate.
a debate before. Before it was God's people.
Right.
DNA proves these are the Jewish people. But now we're saying we're Israelite. Now it's a problem.
Now it's a debate.
Now we gotta prove DNA. We gotta prove all this now.
Right, right.
Because we're saying we're the Israelites.
Right. And then all these different debates and debates upon debates. Debates about this debate, right? Read on.
Lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel,
So we've been blinded, right? Go ahead.
until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
And the fullness of the Gentiles are these false Gentiles, right? These false Gentiles. And
The
also,
end of their rulership comes to an end.
right, until the end of their rulership, right? Because also, the Most High made us jealous with the Gentiles. And as you can see what's going on over there right now, the fullness of their rulership is coming to a close, right? So that's talking about the natural Gentiles. Go ahead.
And so all Israel shall be saved,
And that's when all Israel is going to be saved, right?
as it is written.
There's not going to be any more debates if whose wins or whys, right? Go ahead.
There shall come out of Sion the deliverer.
Because if those people who are over there now calling themselves were the real Jews, if they were the real Jews, you wouldn't need to deliver. It'd already be done. You'd be in the land, right? It'll be done. Go ahead.
And shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them, which I shall take away their sins.
Right. And there's new covenant debates out there now. What covenant are we in? All these debates, all right? But that's another class, but that's another indentation of, what the Most High is saying about when he's going to return, and also when he brings that covenant back in, right? That could be a breadcrumb. Read 27 again, Baba Kusha.
Well, this verse 27 out of Romans 11, chapter 27. For this is my covenant unto them,
Unto them,
when I the Most High shall take away their sins.
take away their sins, right? Jump to verse 11 for me, same chapter.
Verse 11 out of Romans 11, verse 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? Most High forbid.
So have they stumbled indefinitely, right? Have my people stumbled indefinitely all the way off? No, Most High forbid, right? Go ahead.
But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the
Now the
Gentiles.
Gentiles are in that land, trodden down the land. Everybody thinks they're the people of the Most High. They're not, right? The false Gentiles, go ahead.
For to provoke them to
The
jealousy.
Most High said he was going to provoke you to jealousy with a base nation, right? And the people are starting to see that. People who don't even read the Bible, people are starting to see, wait a minute, like Kanye exposed a lot of that stuff about the false Gentiles. And here it is. If you say something, all of a sudden, it's a vicious attack, and you're racist, you're this, you're that, right? And that's the only group of people you can't say anything about. It's a vicious attack, it's this, it's that, you got to go do training, right? But they can talk about you all day. So they have been brought, the jealousy has been brought in to the Gentiles. Because everybody's starting to expose them. They know it, we see it. Go ahead.
Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles.
So if our fall and us losing all of our wealth, our heritage as a nation, and the natural Gentiles getting everything, taking, basically ruling the world, right? Go ahead.
How much more of their fullness?
So how much more, when we get everything back, are we going to exalt the Most High, and the people are going to look at us as a nation? Because look how they look at us in our wickedness. We're a great nation in our wickedness, unfortunately, right? That's why ill-gotten gain, evildoers, right? The worse you can be in America is the better off you are financially. People support you in it. People hold you up on high in esteem and exalt you, right? You can say anything you want. You can misquote the Bible. You can teach whatever you want. Be exalted. People love you for it. So how much more our fullness once we come back to who we are, right? Go ahead, Ben.
Right, and that 12 verse 2 it says, now with the fall of them be the riches of the world. By us falling, America and all nations were able to become rich.
Well, great.
And all the entitlement that they have today, the privilege, the benefits, they got it because of our downfall.
Right.
And the state that we're in as a people being brought into slavery. Right? And it said, and the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentiles, by us being diminished as the people of the Most High, our name, our heritage, they got rich off of our name, our book, our history, and our inheritance.
Oh my gosh.
They got everything. So when you look at this entitlement of white supremacy,
Think about
full package.
Think about that prosperity gospel doctrine, right? They've gotten rich of our heritage.
They got the full package of everything off of us.
Yeah. Oh
so everything
man.
they have is off of our demise and being the condition that we are as a people.
Right. So how much more our fullness once we get back to who we're really supposed to be, and we made the nations rich, right there, right? Go ahead.
They read this and they know that that's why they strive so hard
Right.
to keep us down.
Exactly.
Because they know that if they can keep us and cut us off from being a nation, that they will lose the status that.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to lose. Exactly.
That's
You
what
don't.
they know. That's why.
Right.
That's why
They know
they
that.
put Trump back in there.
Right.
MAGA, make America great again, because they want to continue that legacy of them ruling up over us. They don't want to lose that.
Exactly. And
They
Trump.
don't want to lose that.
In Trump model, they know who we are because Trump acknowledged in his last presidency, he acknowledged our 400 years over here. He signed. I think he signed the act on it.
Yeah,
HR 24, 1242 or something like that. Yeah. So he knows who we are on record. He has it on record. He spoke it. He acknowledged our 400 years over here. You can Google that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Hitler. What about Hitler too, right? He knew.
Hitler knew we were the real Jews. Right? All right, so let me go ahead and land this plane. Let me go. What was that? Number 12. Go to Deuteronomy 32 and 21.
We have the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not the Most High power. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I, the Most High, will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
And that's what the Most High did. And just like it was explained, our diminishment, our demise was the buildup of all these nations and the wealth of all these nations, right? That's why they're going to try in this next 4 years to scramble to quote unquote make America great again. But in doing so, they're going to crash the economy. Go ahead.
And I will move them to jealousy with, I'm going to start from the top again. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not the Most High.
And that's what we've been doing, is moving the Most High to jealousy with a non-power, with idols, paganism, right? Getting mixed in with the other nations. Go ahead.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I, the Most High, will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
And the Most High definitely did that. Go ahead.
I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
The Most High called Esau, Edom, a foolish nation. Amalek, a foolish nation. Edom. Go ahead.
For a fire is kindled in my
And the
anger,
Most High is mad, right? A fire is kindled. Go ahead.
and shall burn unto the lowest
The
hell,
lowest hell. Ooh, that's down in the dirt. Go ahead.
and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains.
So the Most High is a jealous power, and the Most High is angry for his people, right? So that's what we have to understand. And from there, let me get a few more scriptures. Let me go, jump to 39. Same book.
Verse 39, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I the Most High, am He, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I the Most High will render vengeance to mine enemies.
So the Most High is going to take vengeance and render that vengeance onto his enemies. Go ahead.
And will reward them,
And what?
and will reward them that hate me.
So you want to debate all day? Debate? Go ahead, debate. Debate. You only hate the Most High when you come against his truth. Because our salvation is going to be strange and it looks strange, right? And it is more so, again, these people aren't debating you, more so they're debating the word of the Most High. Coming up with these different doctrines and philosophies just so they can sound right, get attention, right? Vain and profane babblings, this is what the Most High calls it. And the truth will stand on its own. And that's why the Most High is becoming more and more angry as the time goes on, right? And from there, let me jump to Jeremiah 51. I'm gonna close out after this.
To Jeremiah 61 or 51?
51.
51. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse.
1 for the top.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 1. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
Right, now the Most High said he's going to raise up a destroying wind against Babylon. Now this is not talking about ancient Babylon, right? This is talking about spiritual Babylon, okay? Which is AKA America, right? Places like America. Go ahead.
And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land.
Empty out her land. America, France, Spain, England, right? Go ahead.
For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
You say Putin?
Oh yeah. Putin?
Can you say Mr. Putin?
Right, Mr. Putin.
Against them, excuse me, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow.
Yep.
And against him that lifted himself up in his brigading, right? Brigading, yeah, it's what? Brigading. And spare ye not her, young men. Destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
Right, and that's what we're gearing up to. This third world war, right? Destroying all the host of the armies, right? The Most High is angry. He uses the nations, just like he used the nations to bring us down. He's going to use the nations to destroy themselves, right? For our good, for our elevation, for our sovereignty, for our salvation. Because these people, they're not going to stop. And people are banking on Trump to stop this third world war. He's already got it set up. He's already making deals. It's not going to stop. They're banking on that. And it's not going to stop. That's why Joe Biden, on the other hand, he's putting his foot on the gas. He's gave them another 300 million, I think it was, or I think it was either two in between 2 to 800 million. He just renewed another package for them for another set of missiles and all that. So he's going to start this war before he get out of here, the hot war, because it's been the Cold War and the information war has been started. The propaganda war has been started. It's just that hot war that's going to start. Right? Go ahead.
Verse was that?
Read 4 again.
Read 4 again? Okay. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of its power. Of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
Right, so Babylon has a recompense coming. If you can flee out of the philosophies of Babylon, flee out of those philosophies. Come out of the doctrines, right? Come out of the brainwashing of America. And if you can physically get out of there, get out of there as well, right? Not everybody can leave, right? Or has a situation where they can leave. But this is the ultimate judgment of Babylon, the great whore that sits upon many waters. Go ahead.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad.
The nations are upset, right? They're getting ready to go to war. Their economy's in the tank. This is what it's building up to be, right? And then ultimately, at some point in time, NATO's going to turn their back, right? The rest of these nations are going to turn their back on America in its proper time. Go ahead.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain.
And this is what people, they want to take balm for her, right? They're starting it through the political processes, right? Everything they can. They want to make America great again. They're going to do everything they can to bring this place back and make it great. Everything they can. And the physical manifestations, at some point in time, the Most High is going to show us that. Or they're going to be upset and ready to kick the door down for whatever reason that you read the Bible, right? Or these different little skirmishes and wars. People are going to be upset and uneasy. They're going to want answers. Right, go ahead.
If so be, she may be healed.
And that's, our people would heal this place if they could, right? And that's why people are scrambling to vote. Everybody's talking about how bad America is becoming, economy-wise, geopolitically wise. They want to hurry up and heal it. No, let's do this. Let's do that.
I'm hearing another thing too. Someone saying, well, our ancestors built this. We here now. We not going
Nowhere.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and our people, hey, they're locked in. We're not going anywhere. We built it. We're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, right? Right? But that shows some of the agitation and where people are at with how they feel. So how far are they willing to go? And this is why we got to keep our head on straight and be prayed up, because people might get ready to start going the distance, right? So we have to spiritually be prayed up and be locked in, while people physically out there get agitated, get over emotional, and they're just, for whatever reason, or whatever their political call, this is all political. People are at their political height and are acting out because of it. It's all through the spirit and power of the Most High, right? So we got to be vigilant. This is the time to lock in now. So if people feel like they want to ride it till the wheels fall off, hey, so be it. Whatever that means to you, go ahead. That's why all of the debates, and are these really the Israelites or black Hebrew Israelites? They don't care what's being said or what's being shared with them. It's because it's coming from you. That's why it's a problem. So our salvation is strange to these people, Right? Go ahead.
Controversy.
Controversy. Right?
Prince made that song, Controversy.
There you go.
And he killed
That
him too, right? He just sleep.
You got to marinate on that one. Right? Where we at?
Verse 7, yeah. No, verse 9.
Verse 9. Go ahead.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her.
Take balm. We would have healed her. Right? They would have tried to put some ointment on the wound. Make it better. Bring it back. We're not going anywhere. Right? Go ahead.
If so be, she may be healed. Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven.
Right. And their judgment has reached unto the heavens. The Most High is seeing the sin of this place at its all-time height. Right? Go ahead.
And is lifted up even to the skies.
Even unto what?
And is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord Yahweh hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord Yahweh, our most high power.
And that's where the saints are going to praise the Most High power is in Zion, ultimately not America. All right? So America is not it, right? And our people have to understand that. And, you know, a lot of our people can get it, a lot of our people can't get it. But this is what we teach according to the scriptures, according to the power of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. With that, that is my class. My name is Aynwah.
Before I close, I just want to add to that 10th verse. It says, the Most High have brought forth our righteousness. It says, come and let us declare in Zion. The work of the Most High power. That's what we have to declare to our people.
Right.
That this is the Most High's work that He's doing.
Right.
Right? So that idea they have, we're going to stay because our ancestors built it, you're going to die. Because the Most High is going to take us out of this place.
Right.
And He's going to bring His judgment, which is fire and destruction, upon Babylon the Great.
That's right. That's it. And with that, hopefully the class is edifying. My name is Aynwah, and I say Shalom.
Shalom. Very good. Awesome class.